started. And
the streamer.
oh, no big deal. So I have these magical dice I'm going to set out here. We're going to try to do something that's, I don't know, a little bit different, a little bit cool. Maybe make Carolyn Grace disappear. That would be awesome.
You never
So,
make her into a cat.
good deal. It should fit.
It's a bag.
Kind of a bag over a bag type of trick, but I tell you what, would you all give a round of applause for my youngest son, Benjamin Murphy? Come on out. Oh!
Back there. You're not gonna wait.
I tell you what, we're gonna just have a seat over there, buddy, and you can relax and enjoy the show. And we're gonna jump right into some juggling. And by the way, that's the first time we've ever even attempted that trick. So I really hope you liked it. I thought it was kind of cool.
That was very
but I'm gonna do a little bit of juggling for you guys, and we're gonna start off. In fact, I just feel that this is the type of crowd that can handle what I'm going to do. But I'm going to teach everybody in here right now a juggling lesson, for real. I'm actually going to teach you how to juggle. And if you go home and you practice these steps I'm about to go through with you quickly, but take your time going through these steps, I promise you too can juggle. I kid you not, last year I was at this banquet and this guy was talking, and I mentioned that I was a juggler, and a friend of mine was there and said, yeah, he's been juggling and teaching people since he was like 8 years old, which is true. I've been teaching people how to juggle, and I've been juggling myself since I was 8 years old, which means I'm like 28 years old, which is like a long time I've been juggling. 28 years, okay, never mind. So appreciate you not laughing at that.
Me either.
Gwen, thanks for being here. But if you'll take some, get some juggling balls, and you can actually make these using balloons and dried beans, and put a couple balloons. I actually encourage you, you can get a sock. You know how you get the socks that kind of go through a divorce, and then you have, loner single socks? It's sad, but true. You could cut the toes off those socks, put some dry beans, not like, the ones you've cooked, because that would be nasty. But dry beans, put in the sock, and then stretch 3 balloons over that, and you make a really awesome juggling ball. It doesn't bounce, won't break stuff, that kind of thing. So you're going to start with one juggling ball, toss it from hand to hand, about the top of your head level, about shoulder width apart, just like so. If you're doing this correctly, you can even kind of watch in the mirror, you should be creating a figure 8 type motion, just like so. This is the exact same throw you're going to make every single time you juggle until you start changing it up with tricks. Step 2, take your second juggling ball. Throw the first one up when it gets to the top. Now listen, this is the trick. This is the secret to juggling, is when you throw the first ball up and it gets to the top, throw the second ball under it, but throw both balls up in the air. Don't do this. If you do this, you're a loser. Okay, what you're going to do is up, up. It's like so. Big difference between this, right? But I guarantee some of you in here, if I told you to get up here and do this, you would do this. You just can't not do it. So, but if you'll learn how to go up, 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 get to where you're watching the balls at the top, throwing about the top of your head level. That's step number 2. Step number 3, take 3 balls. Always start with the hand that has 2 juggling balls in it. Throw the first ball up just like you've been doing. Then the second ball, and then think about the third ball. 1, 2, think about where it's going to go. 1, 2, the third ball. Well, then when you're ready, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and you're juggling. And then when you get good at it, it looks kind of like this. And so all you're doing is throwing 1 ball at a time and catching 1 ball at a time. You just got to throw the next ball in the sequence. And then when you smooth it out, it looks kind of cool. This is called inside cascade juggling. If you'll go home and practice those steps, you too can be a juggler. This is outside cascade juggling, a bit more difficult. You also, I mentioned earlier, circle juggling, which a lot of people try, but is much more difficult. Then cascade juggling and circle juggling looks like this. And then I'm going to move on to something a little bit different. Get a different color ball in here just because it makes for a cool visual. But I'm going to do something called tennis juggling.
Wow.
You know, ever since he shaved his head, it's like perfect with the gimmick.
Yeah, it makes it look
Looks
even
like the
better,
balls. I know.
Next I'm going to do one of the favorite types of juggling I do is called string juggling. And it looks like this.
That looks cool.
It's probably one of the favorites that I do for people. There's another type of string juggling called the yo-yo.
Wow.
She's special.
What?
You made me laugh. Yeah, that's, I just said that, you're right. Okay, so you have the, you're going to answer.
Really?
Wow,
You're
Chris.
gonna answer
Really?
the call.
I mean, I hope you sit on your hamburger.
This is called upstaging.
And you called my phone.
Somebody give Chris Sapp a hand for destroying my show. Thank you for being here, sir.
Hello.
Oh, thank you, preacher.
Yeah, yes, pastor. Okay. So, okay, string, to get back in the groove, now I'm all flustered. To get back in the groove, we were on string juggling, then we went to the yo-yo, and then I was about to say a really cool joke, or not so much now, because it's like totally ruined, called the oi-oi, and that's yo-yo spelled backwards. That's the oi. Yeah, I know, I said that just for you, Maddie. Really.
Come on, Ed, you want to share here?
Thank you very much. So, we are going to do, I'll tell you what, I want to try one more type of juggling for you guys. It's called crossed hand juggling, and I actually learned this in London, England, believe it or not, but it was invented by an American.
Really?
Carolyn Grace, I will pray for you.
I already do. Okay. Everybody
Okay.
does.
So crossed hand juggling, watch my hands carefully, and you will see what crossed hand juggling is. Here we go. Thank you. Delayed clap. Okay, now I'm going to try to juggle 4 balls. This is pretty difficult, but I'm sure we can try to make it work. Everybody ready? I want to make sure, because this is going to go by really fast. So, in fact, it goes by so fast that you can't even blink. I mean, it goes by really, really fast.
Oh, he's acting like he's doing it now.
Messed up my mojo. So, 4-ball juggling, really fast. Don't blink, really difficult. Only using the 2 hands. Thank you very much. 4-ball juggling.
I love that.
See, I knew you would. I knew you would.
Did you catch that, Ed?
So, I think what happened is I juggled so fast that you couldn't even see the juggling balls leave my hand. You want to see that one more time, this time in slow motion?
Yes.
I knew you would. So here we go. 4-ball juggling in slow motion. She really did blink earlier. She thought she missed it. Okay, here we go. 4-ball juggling. I normally get a thunderous applause if I pull this off. Here we go. That's normally where the applause happens. Thank you very much. Now, we're going to try these. You don't set these on fire, you just have melted plastic flying out at the audience. That would just be horrible. Did you say that? You want me to set my props on fire? That's horrible.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
okay. Billy, that would be bad.
Be cooler.
So, a lot of people think these are bowling pins. They're not. They're called a juggling club. They're lightweight plastic with a squishy handle and designed and weighted specifically for juggling. Everybody ready?
Yeah. Woo.
That was You did so good.
We can just move on if you don't want to see it. Is everybody ready?
Yeah.
That's better. So, thank you. So when you're juggling clubs, you have to pay attention to the spin or the rotation of every club as it goes around. If you watch the red club for a second, you'll see that it's doing one spin every time I throw it. So you can do different tricks, which normally have to do with the number of spins or rotations. Watch the red club and I'll do a double spin if I don't hit the ceiling. Now I'm going to try to do multiple double spins on my knees so I don't hit the ceiling. Thank you. Why would you be confused? I'm throwing stuff up and catching it. It's just cool. So, I tell you what, we're going to jump into some magic and do some kind of cool stuff. I'm going to start with an illusion called baffled, bothered, and bewildered, just for Maddie, because she doesn't know what any of those words mean. So it means confused, and since it seems to be the theme of you being here with us. So I went to actually a county fair, just like the White County Fair that takes place. And by the way, a little self-promotion plug, I actually have been approached to perform this year at the White County Fair for several nights, so that's kind of cool. But it was at the White County Fair, in fact, when I saw a magician do a trick similar to this, where he walked out on stage, showed his left hand empty, he showed his right hand empty, and then he proceeded to take a white silk and put that deep, a red silk and put that deep into his hand, and right before my eyes it turned into a white silk. I was baffled, bothered, and bewildered, just like Maddie is right now. And you can see that the red silk goes away and turns into a white silk. And so later on in life, I actually became a magician. And I went and asked this guy, hey, I'm a magician now, can you teach me how to do that baffled, bothered, and bewildered trick? And he said, sure. He said, the trick is you actually have to have 2 silks. Before you ever come out on stage, you have to have a second silk. So there you have the white silk, but then you have a red silk. And so before you ever come out on stage, you put the red silk deep into your hand, just like so. And then when the audience comes out, you just got to make sure and keep your hand closed so that they never see that you have the red silk hidden in your hand. Because if you open it, then you show them you had a red silk hidden inside that hand. So that's the key. And so you take the white silk and you take it and start putting it in, and it turns into a red silk just like so. Now he said as you're putting the white silk in and pulling out the red silk, never separate the two. Because if you do,
Oh my God, my head.
if you separate the two, then it gives away the fact that you really have 2 silks. Or 2, yeah. So I tell you what, since I've already screwed it up, we'll see if I can't just go ahead and turn the white silk into a red silk, just like so. And that's why this trick is called baffled, bothered, and bewildered.
Yeah!
Now, this next trick is one that some of you actually may have seen, and it actually is a trick. It is a trick that is designed a little bit more for younger people, or maybe younger-minded people. I have no one in mind at all for this particular trick. But what's so cool about this particular trick is not the actual trick, but the delivery in which I give it, which I think you guys will enjoy. So, I was driving down the road one day over in Cookeville. Maddie, you got to pay attention or you're going to miss the trick. And I saw this perfectly good coloring book on the side of the road. How many of you like to color? Woo! I knew Maddie would be there. And so I stopped and saw this coloring book, and I picked it up and I looked inside, and I saw there were no pictures inside the coloring book. Right. Yeah, exactly my thoughts. Why in the world? You can't draw. So Maddie can, I know. Carolyn Grace maybe a little bit better because, you know, she's
I do better.
so, but then I read, because reading is important. Carolyn Grace learned to read. It's important.
I know.
So I read and saw that this was a magic coloring book, and figured out you must have to color this coloring book with magic. So we have to get some lines on here to color, or otherwise we're having to learn how to draw, and just no one wants to do that. So I tell you what, I need a helper, and I'm saving you for something else.
Darn.
I promise it'll be good. So just wait for it.
Get the one in the red dress.
Moron.
I tell you what. I actually do think I can, because I can do what I want. It's my show, and it's your birthday, so I can use you as much as I want. Give Carolyn Grace a big hand. Come on. Okay, cool deal. If you would stand right over here. That's awesome. To do magic, what's the main thing you normally need to do magic?
Magic.
Magic.
Wand.
Wand, yes. And so it turns out that I have a very special, very, looks like a
silverware. Like the silverware wrapped up in silverware.
Okay, so I want you to, do you know any magic words, Carolyn?
Abracadabra.
Yeah.
It's not your show. I tell you what, I would rather use my magic word, because it's like the best magic word ever. And it is peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. So I want you to color with the magic wand, just like this, on the outside of the coloring book, some pictures, draw actually, and then we're going to say the magic word, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Go ahead.
Peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
That is perfect.
Yeah.
Everybody look and see what Carolyn
How would
Grace
you, man?
did. Give her a big hand. She did.
Of course you did.
You know, I tell you what. Sometimes it takes a bigger magic wand, and it turns out. Did I have one? There you
I
go.
like this now.
And say your magic word.
Peanut butter and jelly.
Sandwiches.
There we
Yes,
go.
yes, yes. You got to get the magic word. So everybody, look and see what. She
My goodness.
did. No, it's okay. It's okay.
No, it's
Sometimes you
not.
need a bigger magic wand.
Where is it?
Yeah.
I like this one.
It's like wields it as a weapon. Okay, so color on the coloring book.
Peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
That's it, everybody. That's got to work. Everybody give Carolyn Grace a big hand. Look inside.
Oh my
You
goodness.
still did nothing.
Where's the
Now this
extra
one's
one?
You know what? Sometimes you need a bigger magic wand. Excuse me.
Oh, wait. I don't know.
Yeah.
My height. It's Stella's height.
Big one. What?
It's your height.
Okay.
It's cold.
Solo's hype. That was sweet.
Peanut butter jelly sandwich.
All right. Everybody look and see what Carolyn Grace did. That is awesome.
I can't draw, obviously. Is there an extra one?
Nothing happened. You know what, guys? Sometimes you need a bigger magic wand.
I'm scared. I'm scared.
Oh God. Oh yeah.
All right.
That's rude.
I did that. I put that.
Okay.
Peanut butter jelly sandwich.
This has got to do it. Everybody give Carolyn Grace a big hand. Look at this. You know what? I need to hear everybody say it. Sometimes you need a bigger magic wand.
How many are there?
There's more.
I'm scared. Oh my god.
Oh my God. That's why I'm
Okay, go ahead. Just say it really loud. Peanut butter jelly sandwiches.
Peanut butter jelly sandwiches.
Okay, set this back there.
I like
Of course, this is a coloring book. Now we just have a bunch of pictures. Who likes to color? Who wants to help me color the magic coloring book? You want to help? Come on up. Okay, so we need a different kind of magic wand. We need a colorful magic wand to put colors on the pictures. Cool. So, what's your name? MJ. Cool. MJ, take this. Hold on to it tightly, and you're just going to color on the outside of the coloring book, just like so. MJ, what happened? You didn't hang on to the magic wand. Okay, here, MJ, hold on to this. Take it. And you're just going to color on the outside of the coloring book. MJ, what you're killing me here. Take this one, put it up right. Wait, let go, let go, let go. Okay, perfect. So this time, MJ, hang on right there, and you're going to color on the outside of the coloring book. MJ, wow, you're like very magical. So here, take this, put this right under here. Okay, perfect. Stand still. Hold this. And you're just going to color on the outside of the coloring book. MJ! Here, this one. Here, let go of that one. That one goes here. This one goes here. Hang on. This one goes under this arm. This one goes under this arm. It's okay. We'll get it. We'll get it. Okay, right there. And then this one goes right here. Don't move. You got it. You got it. Here, let's, here. Everybody give MJ a big hand. Look at that. Good job.
I'm so lost.
So he's way cuter.
You're beautiful.
That's why, because you're
Just having an apple. Eyelashes.
I did. Oh. Did the magic wand stab you in the elbow?
No, I don't know what happened.
Okay. So we're going to move on. This next trick is a bit more dangerous and a lot more fun for me. Who in here's parents have insurance?
My mom.
My mom's got insurance.
I need someone, in fact, I need a couple of big, kind of strong guys. You'll
Joshua.
qualify.
Get up there.
Josh
Josh.
is a big guy.
What?
Josh, get up there.
Jay? Cool. Jay, stand right over here for me. Are you Josh?
No, he's Josh.
You're Josh.
Josh, get up
Josh, come on
there.
up.
Yeah,
This is going to be awesome. Josh, nice to meet you. Okay, I need someone else who doesn't scare easily. I need someone wearing short sleeves. Which, Maddie, probably no, I need you for something else. I need your strength. I need someone, I think. Do you want to see your sister
Yes.
potentially die?
Yes. Go.
Maddie, come on up. Come on. Instant. That was good. Yeah, no hesitation.
No hesitation.
So Jay and Josh, right? And so I tell you what, Josh, step right over there. We need a little bit more room. Jay, right over there. That's perfect. Maddie, stand right here. I mainly am using you because your dad loves me like a brother, and I know he won't sue me if this goes horribly wrong.
Mom.
So no, she's already gone.
Sorry.
So I tell you what, we will take those ropes, and you'll take those two ropes. Go ahead and pull out the slack, so you're kind of in a tug-of-war stance. Yeah, go ahead and back up a little bit. You don't have to. You can stay right there. That's perfect. Okay, I tell you what. I want to make sure that that you guys know that these are pretty sturdy ropes. So Josh, I'll tell you what. Go ahead and pull 3 times hard on the ropes. Okay, I was expecting more from a man of your stature, but no, that's okay. That's okay. Good. Show him how it's done, Jay. Pull 3 times. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, right your shoulder.
Yeah, that's more what I was looking for.
Wow.
That's awesome. So I tell you what we're gonna do is I'm gonna pull your hair up.
I'm scared now.
Just so.
Oh, really? You're scared.
Now, what we need to do is actually tie Maddie up. Anybody opposed to that whatsoever?
No.
Not at all.
Go ahead. Josh, go to where Jay is. Jay, go over where Josh is. Okay, so keep a hold of your ropes. Here, go under. One person have to go under there. Keep a little bit of tension.
Can we put something over her mouth?
These really are around her neck, so just don't go. crazy.
We're
I
good.
probably need to be
Chill.
telling him. You're already cool. So, Jay, so keep a little bit of tension, but these really are, I am an illusionist, I do magic tricks, but are these ropes really around your neck right now? Yeah. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Are they choking you? You okay? Can you breathe? Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Shh, don't talk. Okay, so I tell you what, should we tie her up a little bit more?
Yeah.
Okay, let me have the ends. Come to me, I'm going to give these right back to you. And I'm going to do this.
Oh, God.
And what back?
Yeah, good idea. Hold your shirt just in case. Makes your shirt disappear and we all get surprised. I'm just trying to prepare everyone, that's all.
You're going to make it awkward for me. Now that. There you go. Now
Someone's
get the
snorting.
hair. Yeah.
Who would have thought?
You good?
Yeah.
Okay. Outstanding. You're good. I promise. Hands to your side. Okay, I tell you what. Let's tear out a little bit more. Give me one of those two ropes. I don't care. It's not my neck. Okay. Give me one of yours.
Thanks, Sissy. You did this. You're welcome. Merry Christmas.
I'm feeling the love.
By the way, if in the future I have any trouble with this, I'll let you know.
All right. Good deal. No, you're good. It's not going
No, I'm
anywhere. You're
fixing
fine.
my work.
All the bottom parts.
You're good. You're good. You're good.
Yeah.
Okay, I tell you what. Now what we're going to do, come a little bit closer. Keep the slack pulled out. I need room for you to pull back. I don't want you to hit your elbow. I don't want my assistants getting. No, you're good to hold up here because you're going to have to pull hard back. So bring this hand. Let go. Bring this hand forward so you can pull hard. There you go.
Don't kill him.
And you got plenty of room behind you. Just don't hit the little kid with the hair, the face. Yeah. Okay. So, we're going to count to 3. And then, now listen to me. And I mean it. Okay? No jokes. We haven't set this up ahead of time, all that good stuff. But Jay and Josh, as soon as we all let me lead, if they just scream out 3, don't start pulling. Because Carolyn Grace will do that. She's goes crazy.
3!
So, when we all count to 3, I want you two to pull absolutely as hard as you possibly can. At least that way, if the trick doesn't work, it'll be quick and painless. You won't feel it. The head pops right off. It's happened before. It's all good. So, I'm going to move your hair out of the way because I don't want your hair to be ripped out. Because that would be bad.
By the way, make sure those glasses don't break. That's all I'm
Oh,
asking.
we just got those. Madison, I got
Yeah.
you.
So you throw the glasses. Make sure the glasses don't break. Throws them like a ninja star. Okay, here we go. Everybody ready?
Yeah.
I'm not asking you. I'm asking you. Here we go. Everybody count with me. 1, 2, 3.
Oh my God.
Thank you very much. Give them a big hand. All right.
I'm shook. Could you not cry?
That is awesome. Thank you. Go see if these are yellow. I don't know. Anyway, oh, there it is. Hey, this is my other son. You'll meet him in a minute. They are going to go prepare for something else that we're going to do next. So, Josh is leaving.
I'll see you later.
There you go.
Josh, are you leaving? Bye, Joshua.
Sleeps
You want a hot
overrated.
person up with me? Oh, she's touching me.
It turns dark green. Okay, it's like ice because I set my finger in my ice cup earlier. So I just, and then it turns white in my breath.
All right, so this is a little bit cooler magic trick, and as much as anything else, in fact, I have one more that I may throw in. That's just kind of a bonus magic trick while they set up for a routine that Harry Houdini himself performed called Metamorphosis, which is pretty awesome. But this one is a little bit different. It has a little bit different kind of stint to it, and it's actually called. Well, it doesn't matter what the magic name for it, but I call it the priorities trick. And so what I have here is 3 different little plastic balls, and these represent, these 3 balls represent different priorities in your life. And so we have the yellow ball. This kind of represents working, like out under the sun. A lot of people work hard for a living, they work outdoors and that kind of thing. So this one's going to kind of represent work. Now, my 2 boys who are preparing the next trick, they like to play soccer. We go out running, we do mud runs and that kind of thing, play out in the grass a lot of time. And so this one kind of represents family and fun. And then the last object here is a red ball. Good. The last ball, so just to recap, Carolyn Grace, we have work, family is the green ball, and then red actually represents God. Tomorrow is Easter, and I wanted to do at least one kind of gospel illusion trick. And so if you don't believe in Him, I hope you'll listen to what I'm about to say. But this weekend, today, was the day that our Lord and Savior was actually in the grave 2,000 years ago. And so we should absolutely have Him as a priority in His life, because His blood is what makes it possible for us to have hope of eternal salvation. I believe that with everything in my being. And so, and a lot of you, how many of you like go to church and Sunday school, that kind of thing, or have in your life? Raise your hands. Okay, awesome. So you guys know, you all know the Bible answer. And it's easy to sit here and say that at the bottom of our priority list should be work. And next on our priority list should be family or fun. And at the top of our priority list should be Jesus Christ and the blood of Christ, right? And that's easy to say when we're at church or when we're at the group where we know what the right answer is. But we leave this place and we go back to our lives and our priorities get flipped all upside down, and all of a sudden you can see that Jesus is at the bottom. And sometimes not even on our priorities, but He gets down to the very bottom of our priority list, right? I want to make sure you guys understood what just happened. Which of these should be, it is a priority, it is important, but which of these should be at the bottom of our priorities? I need you to yell it out.
Yellow.
Yellow. So we're putting that in first. What should go next? Family. And then what should be at the top of our priorities? Jesus, right. But then we leave. And we get into the world, and we get on our cell phones, and we get on InstaChat, and we the interweb, and all those crazy things. And we forget what our priorities, what we really should be doing. And all of a sudden, God's at the bottom of our priorities once again. You know what? I believe that it's important. And I believe something that we should do from time to time is actually focus. And that's what a weekend like this is all about. To actually take some time and focus on the blood of Jesus Christ. And actually pay a little bit more attention of what that means. And Easter weekend is a good time to do that. Now, I hope you don't limit it just to Easter weekend, but it is crucially important to spend some time, actually daily, focusing on Jesus Christ. And when you do that, that ball that we just put in there, it's amazing how it can just kind of automatically end up being at the top of your priorities, just like that.
Wow.
And that's what important priorities are all about. So, you set up out there, bud?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. We're going to do one more, and then we're going to head out there. Because it's Easter, we're going to do a fun little Easter trick that is pretty fun. And, oh, where's Maddie? Because she would really freak out. Oh, Maddie, what are you doing? Sit down.
I am sitting down. Pushy. Hey, you buy a rope now.
So, it is Easter weekend, so I had to bring out a rabbit trick. Sorry, we can try to get to where you can see. So, I have Well, my wife won't let me have her rabbit. She's
I
allergic,
believe
so
it.
she says. So I have 2 rabbits here. These are my rabbits. This is Hip. This is Hop. They're my hippity hop rabbits. And so Hip over here, of course, is a black rabbit. So I painted a black hat on his house just to be kind of cool. And then Hop over here is a white rabbit. So I painted a white hat on his house. Now, if you'll pay attention, you might be able to figure out how this magic trick goes. I may ask someone in the back if they can figure out how this one goes. So pay attention back there. But you can see there's a black hat on both sides of this box. There's a white hat on both sides of this box. And now you can see that Hip and Hop have changed places. Magic. She's seen the trick. So obviously Hip is now over here with the white hat, and Hop is over here with the black hat. But if you'll watch again one more time, you can see that there's a black hat on both sides of this box. There's a white hat on both sides of this box. And now you can see once again that Hip and Hop have changed places. And I can always spot the one person in the room that is trying to explain how this trick works to the person beside them. And I really appreciate you being here. But there's one of you in every crowd when I do this trick. So all I need you to do is try to explain to everybody out loud. And so just tell me how I can show how this trick works.
One side's black and one side's white.
So I need to flip them around
Yeah.
like this?
No.
Oh, no. I need to spin them around.
Yeah, spin.
So actually take the rabbit and spin it around like this.
Turn the rabbit itself.
Oh, just take these and turn them around like this?
Ooh.
What? Thank you. That face was awesome. That's why I do magic. Okay. So, all right. We've had fun. We've done quite a few magic tricks, doubles, and juggling. I hope you enjoyed it so far. But what we're going to do right now, with the help of my youngest son, is a little bit of a tribute to Harry Houdini with one of the most amazing escape illusion tricks of all time, in my opinion. And I hope that I do it justice. But to perform that, and for you all to see that, we're going to need everyone, because there's not enough ceiling height, we need everyone to go outside and actually stand kind of at the street looking towards the building.
I know. Drop the balloon.
Gotta go outside. Can't throw fire in here.
But we're not doing anything with
I know, but I just had to say that because it sounded cool. Killer. Yeah. Hello.
What?
Yes.
What?
That was awesome. You can actually get rid of people, right? That's a good idea.
Is there a back to that ball?
I still don't get how he did that. I was trying to figure out how he did it. But yeah, no.
Yeah.
I'm Jason Murphy. This is my son Christian. I hope you've enjoyed this illusion and watching a little bit of Mr. Magic. Make sure and love on Carolyn Grace. Carolyn Grace, I truly do love you. And I hope you enjoyed your magic show. So y'all go enjoy the rest of your evenings, dancing and